Canada Through Time: Immigration and the Founding of New Communities by Kathleen Corrigan. A New Country. In 1867, a group of British colonies in North America formed a new country. It was called Canada. Soon after, other provinces and territories joined too. However, many parts of central and western Canada had few settlers. Soon, Canadians and new people from Europe began to look there for free land. Map of Canada around 1885. Northwest Territories: Keewatin, British Columbia, District of Athabasca, District of Saskatchewan, District of Assiniboia, Manitoba, Disputed Area, Ontario, Newfoundland, Quebec, Nova Scotia, United States. Many Aboriginal people were already living on land the settlers wanted. The Prairies. The Canadian government wanted more settlers. The prairies had land that could be farmed. New farms would bring more money into Canada. The government made treaties with the Plains First Nations. The treaties made some land available for immigrants. The prairies had many hectares of open land for farming. Did you know? The treaties gave the First Nations people money, blankets, tools, and farm supplies. Yet they took away their land and made them live on reserves. The Northwest Mounted Police. American traders wanted to sell things in Western Canada. However, they fought with some First Nations people. In 1873, the Canadian government started a police force to stop trouble. The force was called the Northwest Mounted Police. Mounted police helped protect many Canadians, including First Nations people, traders, and railway builders. Did you know? Later, the Northwest Mounted Police became the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The bison. On the prairies, many First Nations hunted bison. Bison provided them with food and clothing. No part of the bison was wasted. Teepees were partly made from bison hides and tools were made from bones. Settlers brought horses, guns, and railways to the prairies. They shot and killed the bison in large numbers. In the early 1800s, there were about 30 million wild bison in Canada. Settlers wasted most parts of each bison. By 1880, the huge herds on the plains were gone. Gold. During the 1850s and 1860s, gold was found in British Columbia. Some people went there to find gold. In 1896, gold was found in the Yukon. About 100,000 people arrived to find gold. They had to climb the Chilkoot Pass to get to the gold fields. The police made sure each man had supplies for 1 year before he could climb the pass. Did you know? Sometimes it took people months to travel to the gold fields. A new territory. A town called Dawson City was built near the gold fields. The government wanted to stop this area from becoming part of the United States. This was because gold was worth so much money. In 1898, the government created the Yukon Territory. A railway was built to the gold fields. Stores, hotels, and gambling halls in Dawson City got very busy. Many people spent their gold when they found it. The Klondike Mines Railway traveled from Dawson City to the gold fields. The trains carried people, mail, supplies, and gold to and from the mines. Finding new settlers. Many men visited the West for gold. However, the government wanted whole families to move west and stay. From 1896 onwards, the government advertised for settlers. They said there would be farms and jobs. Settlers came from other parts of Canada, the United States, and Europe. They spoke many languages. Did you know? In 1913, Canada welcomed over 400,000 immigrants. Some groups moved to the prairies so they could follow their religions and cultures in peace. Daily life. New settlers were called homesteaders. Each homesteader was given 65 hectares of land if they promised to live there. They were asked to build a house and barn in 3 years. But farming was not easy. Homesteaders had to dig through the tough prairie grass to plant crops. Families traveled long distances to get to their new farms. Did you know? The first homes were built of sod, the prairie grass the farmers dug up. Later farmers built wooden houses and barns. Wheat was the main prairie crop. It was sold to other parts of Canada and the world. It was used to make flour. Soon, the prairies were covered in wheat farms. Prairie summers were often hot and dry. Homesteaders had to plow fire breaks around their fields. These kept homes safe from prairie fires caused by the heat. Prairie fires could quickly sweep through large parts of prairie land. Did you know? Some settlers in the West became ranchers and cowhands instead of homesteaders. Homesteaders planted gardens and raised animals for food. They also grew crops to feed their animals. Some homesteaders could not grow enough food to survive. Sometimes the men would leave to find work. Women and children would stay to work on the farms. Prairie towns were built along the railway. Stores, schools, restaurants, and churches were built there. Did you know? Grain elevators stored the wheat crops. After 1900, more cities were built in Canada. For example, prairie cities were built near the railway lines. This made it easier to move people, goods, and crops around the country. Cities had electric lights, streetcars, and exciting things to do. Many immigrants moved to cities because there were jobs in factories and shops. Did you know? People who did not live in cities ordered goods from catalogs. You could even order a house from the Eaton's catalog. A changing country. Canada changed a lot in the 1900s. Canada slowly moved towards independence from Great Britain. The role of women changed too. During World War I, 1914 to 1918, women were allowed to vote for the first time. Soon, women felt they should help run the country and do the same jobs as men. Thousands of men left their homes to fight in Europe. Did you know? Kathleen Blake Coleman was the world's first official female war reporter. She wrote for a Toronto newspaper. Kathleen proved that women could write about politics, business, and science.